the Battle of the Beaks, a new election day, and political taunts from Russia.
All that and more next on Fisher News.
Welcome to Fisher News. I'm Johari Del Cruz.
And I'm Evan Bordas. St. John Fisher came out victorious in the Battle of the Beaks for men's basketball after a wild double overtime victory. The crowd went wild after junior Tyler English put up a three-pointer in the last possession of overtime, sending the game into a second overtime. This victory was especially rewarding for Fisher because it was the senior night and all the ticket sales went to Golisano Children's Hospital. Here's James with the story.
Thanks, Evan, and welcome to the Fisher Sports Desk with a twist. Twist being, there is no desk. I'm James Bailey, here to bring you all things Fisher Sports. The St. John Fisher Athletics program has a few major events each year. The Courage Bowl is the main event in the fall, and this past season's was a thriller. Fisher pulled out a 42-38 victory over Brockport thanks to a Matt Nathan-led touchdown drive in the game's final minute. Well, in the winter, it's all about the Battle of the Beaks. The matchup between Fisher and East Ave rival Naz is usually the highlight of the winter basketball season, and this year did not disappoint. The Fisher women led off the doubleheader. Caroline Robertson put the first points on the board for the Cardinals. Later on in the corner, Robertson again, this time for three off the Aaron Hurlburt assist. Now into the second half, Robertson keeps it going with the hoop and the foul. She ended up with 19 points. But in the fourth quarter, Naz would begin to pull away. Here, Rachel Benedict takes a dagger three in the fourth quarter. Naz would go on to win by a score of 72-66. Robertson, Emily Piazzantini, and Hurlburt all finished in double figures for the Cardinals. The second half of the doubleheader was worth the billing as well. This Ryan Henderson three put the Fisher men up 10-0 to start the game. Later on in the half, the Cardinals' Tyler English drives the lane and dumps the ball off for senior big man Keegan Ryan for the easy two. Into the second half now, Ryan would go back to work on the block, muscling his way inside for two more. Later on, junior Tyler Farrell hits a rare three. Farrell hit 13 points off the bench, a very big contribution for the Cardinals. Late in the half, with Naz closing in, Alex Sauceville finds Ryan again for another deuce and the foul. Down to the final minute now, and with Fisher down a point, sophomore Jake Haight flips in a floater to give the Cardinals back the lead. Okay, now final seconds, Fisher up by two, Naz with the ball.
Defensively, and now Farrell on the switch, Wind, yes! 4.5 seconds left, English with time, puts it up, no! He missed the layup at the buzzer, and we will go to overtime.
English would make up for that miss in overtime. With Fisher down 5, he drives the lane for two and the foul. Next possession, the Cardinals down 4 now. English sprints down the court and gets inside for two more. After two more Naz free throws, English once again takes the ball inside and again gets to the cup for two. Fisher fouled to send Naz to the line, and that's when things got exciting again.
It's the big one again. And it rolls off. A chance for the Cardinals. English will put up the three. Got it! Oh, what a shot! And Wind with time puts it up. Oh, we're going to another overtime.
Fisher would finally start to pull away in double overtime. English drives the lane, misses the layup, but Ryan is there to clean it up through the foul. The Cardinals will end up putting Naz away 103-93. English ended up with 33 points and 8 rebounds. Ryan finished with 24 and 14. Fisher pulled off the win despite Nazareth's Brendan Wynn going off for 48 points. The game will go down as one of the all-time classics in the Battle of the Beaks rivalry. Neither of Fisher's squads had too much time to ponder Saturday's events. Both were back in action again on Wednesday against Elmira. The women took care of business against the Golden Eagles, pulling off an 85-71 victory. 5 Cardinals finished in double figures, led by freshman Chelsea Rapard with 21. The win moved the Cardinal women to 12-11 on the season and helped them maintain 4th spot in the Empire 8. Should Fisher stay there, they would qualify for the Empire 8 playoffs. The Cardinals last won the Empire 8 tournament 2 years ago in 2015. The men followed up their wild performance on Saturday with a 75-63 victory also over Elmira. It was all Keegan Ryan for the Cardinals. The senior center finished with 33 points on 11 of 14 shooting from the field and a perfect 11 for 11 at the free throw line. With the win, the Cardinal men clinched the Empire 8 regular season crown with the #1 overall seed. With the win, the Cardinal men clinched the Empire 8 regular season crown. With the #1 seed also comes the right to host the Empire 8 tournament. The E8 tournament will be held here on Friday and Saturday, February 24th and 25th here at St. John Fisher College in Manning and Napier Gymnasium. The Cardinals could potentially get a rematch with Nazareth that weekend. The Golden Flyers are currently 3rd in the Empire 8 standings. It should be a fun and interesting weekend for all. That's all we have for Fisher Sports. I'm James Bailey, kicking it back to the news studio.
Thanks, James.
This spring, students and faculty from St. John Fisher College, Wegman School of Pharmacy, and Wegman School of Nursing are teaming up to compete in Your Script, Your Future Medication Adherence Challenge. The competition encourages an interprofessional team of students to create activities and initiatives to raise awareness about the importance of medical adherence. Statistics show that nearly 3 out of every 4 Americans don't take their medication as directed. This often worsens chronic health and conditions and causes nearly 125,000 deaths in the United States each year.
Fisher Student Government Association is encouraging club leaders to volunteer in the community. SGA's Vice President of Clubs and Organization, Kelsey Mitchner, reached out to many clubs to encourage their members to volunteer. Mitchner, a service scholar, said that Fisher's commitment to improving the community was one of the reasons she chose Fisher. Some recent volunteer trips include members of the Fisher Rugby Club volunteering at Scottsville Animal Shelter and Study Abroad Club ringing bells for the Salvation Army.
The SJFC Marketing Club competed in an international collegiate case competition sponsored by eBay. Members spent the entire fall semester researching, interviewing, and creating a comprehensive market plan to rejuvenate eBay's brand image. At the competition, the club received an honorable mention among 99 other colleges.
Tompkins Bank of Castile has given $50,000 in scholarship funds to the Salerno School of Business. John McKenna, the president of Tompkins, donates some of the bank's funds annually to enrich the lives of the students attending the business school. Dr. Rama Keller, the dean of the business school, says the donation will certainly help us better serve the business students from a variety of backgrounds.
Throughout the month of February, SJFC students will be exploring the themes in Robert Louis Stevenson's famous novel, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Additionally, public events will take place to discuss the themes. The next panel will take place Tuesday, February 21st from 3 to 5 p.m. in the lower level of the Lavery Library. The last panel will be a screening of the 1941 movie adaptation, will take place on Tuesday, February 28th from 6:15 to 9 p.m. in the Basel 135 Auditorium. The events are free and open to the public.
We'll be right back with the city and state news.
Give me a hand with that.
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone brought this?
Did you lose this?
Thanks for helping us.
No problem.
Is this your purse? You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Fisher News. Along with 7 other members of Congress, New York Representative Louise Slaughter had introduced a bill called the Weekend Voting Act. The legislation would move Election Day from the first Tuesday in November to the first Saturday and Sunday after the first Friday in November. Weekend voting would benefit working Americans, students, and seniors who are negatively affected by the current weekday system. 1845 was the first year that Congress chose to hold federal elections on the first Tuesday of November, mainly because land-owning voters were usually in towns and cities that day to conduct farming-based business.
February 14th was not just Valentine's Day, but the 199th birthday of abolitionist and writer Frederick Douglass. A group of local feminists gathered in Mount Hope Cemetery to honor the life of Douglass, who escaped from slavery in Maryland to come to Rochester, New York, where he published his influential journal, The North Star. Local artist Amanda Ahmed gave a powerful speech on the life and legacy of Douglass.
Rochester police are investigating an officer-involved shooting after they say a woman threatened another woman with a knife. Police responded to a home on Garrison Avenue on February 14th, where they say 37-year-old Xiomara Roman Negroni was chasing the other woman with a large butcher knife. When Roman Negroni ignored comments to drop the knife, Officer Aaron Kenny shot at her, but missed. Following protocol, Officer Kenny is on administrative leave pending an investigation. She has been in the force for 2 years. Roman Negroni is facing charges of stalking in the second degree and menacing in the second degree. No one was injured.
Police have identified the man killed in the snowmobile crash as Pittsford native Gregory Barr. Barr was killed when his snowmobile collided with a pile of rocks in St. Lawrence County. The accident took place last Saturday during an intense storm.
Rochester police are investigating an alleged robbery that occurred the night of February 14th. Police say that a 36-year-old University of Rochester graduate student was walking across a pedestrian footbridge when he was approached by the suspect who demanded his property. The victim believed the suspect had a gun, so he turned his property over. Police say the suspect left the area on foot. No one was injured.
A bill that prevents 16 and 17-year-olds from being charged as adults for crimes was passed by the New York State Assembly last Tuesday. First introduced by Governor Andrew Cuomo, the bill aims at making the justice system more fair for high school-aged children. New York was one of only 2 states that can try 16 and 17-year-old felons as adults.
Stay tuned for national and global news.
Just waking up and going to school and learning, it makes me feel good as a person. I'm a single mother and I got pregnant and I was the main one working, so I did what I had to do to survive. I never thought that I could go back to school and get it, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
You're winning today.
We're so very proud of you and love you so much. Yeah, it's hard, but don't be afraid. Keep on going and keep on trying. You can do anything you want.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Fisher News. U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis is in Brussels for a NATO meeting. Before taking office, Donald Trump referred to the alliance as obsolete, but Mattis assured that his counterparts, NATO, has Mr. Trump's strong support.
Kim Jong-nam, half-brother to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, was about to fly out of Malaysia when he fell ill at the airport. He died on the way to the hospital. South Korea says he was murdered with poison. He spoke to TV Asahi about his brother back in 2011.
Well, I hear that news by media, and I think it's true.
True.
Yes.
Did you get information directly? No?
Sorry, cannot answer.
Oh, right. Okay. What do you think about it? What do you think about that succession?
Well, I can say it's totally my father's decision, and I think we have to support this decision
Oh, really?
for North Korean people, for their happiness and better life.
Oh. What kind of person is he?
Well, I cannot tell what kind of person is my brother. Just I can say it's my brother.
You have good relationships?
Well, he's my brother. No more, no less.
No more, no less.
Yeah.
No, good relationship or bad relationship? You can't answer.
No. Why bad relationship? Between brothers, I think bad relationship cannot exist.
Okay. Does he have good relationship with his father? Kim Jong-un?
That question you have to ask my brother.
But some report says his father loves him, especially. How's that? Is that true?
Well, my father loved very much my brother as his son.
Is he called Kim Dae-jang or Kim Chol-moon Dae-jang?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much. The second question is Chan Son-taek. Chan Son-taek will support him, Kim Jong-un?
I don't know.
You don't know. Really?
No, what are you talking about? I never defected from North Korea, and I don't see the reason why I have to do that.
But some reports say.
I think it's quite wrong information or fake news.
But now you are in Macau, and maybe you stay in Macau, and why? Why do you stay? Not exact.
I'm traveling in Macau, so I'm here for a short time. Surely I'll be to another place later.
Not exact. Just a rumor. What should I do?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I really don't know. But I always hope of this peaceful world, include Asia, wherever in the world.
The White House says President Trump has been, and will continue to be, tough on Russia. It comes as Russia challenges the new Trump administration, apparently deploying a ground-based cruise missile, which violates the US-Russia Arms Control Treaty. This move is just one of the latest string of Russian provocations, which also includes sending spy ships to sail off the East Coast and off the United States, and flying aircraft too close to US warships. In the past, President Trump has called for warmer relations with the Kremlin.
Repair work is still going on at the dam in Oroville, California, but things are looking up for the tens of thousands of people forced from their homes. Folks are being allowed to go back to their homes, but they have to be ready to go if necessary. Scott McLean is there in Oroville and has the latest.
Repair work at the Oroville Dam is still not over, but there is good news for the nearly 200,000 people who live downstream. The mandatory evacuation order is now an evacuation warning, not the official all clear, but permission from authorities to take your chances. People could still be asked to leave, and if you can't pack up quickly, you should stay away. Still, after 2 nights spent in hotels or shelters, this came as very welcome news.
Oh my God, it was just overwhelming. Like, we were so happy that we could come back because we just moved here at the beginning of the year, and we're like, we made 1 house payment so far, we need to get our house.
Authorities made the decision because of some promising signs. Crews worked non-stop for the last 2 days to shore up the badly eroded emergency spillway with cinder blocks, sandbags, and truckloads of rock. After doing inspections, they say the structure of the dam was not compromised by the erosion, and now that it's reinforced, it'll be better prepared to take on more water if the dam overflows again. They've also been draining the lake as quickly as possible, hoping water levels will be down by 50 feet by the time more rain starts falling overnight. Forecasts show the area could get 5 to 12 inches of rain through the weekend, with more next week. Authorities think they'll be in good shape for what comes next, but just in case, President Trump has approved a federal disaster declaration for the area, meaning California can access federal help if it needs it, although people here are hoping it won't. In Oroville, California, I'm Scott McLean.
Mother Nature puts on an ultra-rare light show at a national park. A herd of camels makes a snow day out of a hump day. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at Mother Nature at its finest. This is the Firefall at Yosemite National Park in California. Every year around this time, hundreds of spectators gather to watch as the setting sun hits Horsetail Falls at just the right angle, naturally illuminating it into a golden glow. A lot of things have to happen for the phenomenon to occur. The water's temperature has to be just right, and the western sky must be clear at sunset. But when everything comes together, the Yosemite Firefall lights up for about 10 minutes a year. File this one under, really? A Hitler look-alike was arrested in Austria outside of Hitler's birth home. Sporting the dictator's haircut and infamous mustache, the impersonator preferred to be called Harald Hitler and was caught posing for pictures outside the home in the city of Brno. The man was taken into custody by police and questioned. Glorifying Nazis is against the law in Austria. And now, in the weirdest transition ever, from Hitler to camels. We're used to seeing camels in hot desert temperatures, which might explain why these guys seem so excited by snow. This herd of camels was caught frolicking in the fresh snow Wednesday in eastern Turkey. The group wasted no time rolling around, jumping around, chest bumping, and doing whatever this is. What a perfect way to chill on Hump Day. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Health officials have a warning for parents. Pets' medications need to be secured just like pills intended for humans. They're trying to raise awareness and urge careful attention to home storage of medications. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
Parents know to secure medications and keep them out of children's reach, but many don't realize that pet medicine should be safeguarded too. A study published in the journal Pediatrics suggests many parents forget to keep their animals' medication hidden. Just like with human prescriptions, pet meds could have a harmful effect on children. Between 1999 and 2013, the Central Ohio Poison Center received over 1,400 calls about children exposed to veterinary medications. 87% of the calls concerned children under the age of 5. While most of these cases didn't result in serious medical situations, study authors want to caution parents about how dangerous veterinary prescriptions can be for children. So if you usually keep your animal's medicine under the sink or near the pet food, make sure to move them someplace out of reach of children. Remember to keep medicines in child-proof containers and always make sure your pets have finished ingesting their medicine before allowing them to be around children. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And that's all the news we have for today. For this and other Cardinal television programs, check us out on Time Warner Cable Channel 12.
Also, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Cardinal Television Fisher for Fisher News. I'm Jahar Del Cruz.
And I'm Evan Bordas.